Hi, I'm so excited you're here. Today is part two of our present perfect tense series. Okay, in the last class, we learned about the structure. Now we are learning something even more important. What is that? When and how and where to use it. It doesn't matter if you know the structure, but you don't know when to use it, it's not important, right? So let me get started with you today. If you're not watching this live, I want you still ready to go, ready to participate. This is going to be, like all of my classes, super participation heavy with whoever I can, okay? So let's begin this class. Let me see here. Okay. So first of all, when do we use the present perfect? When do we use it? Good question. So here's a little chart. Remember that the present perfect is have or has plus the past participle. I have been to Mexico. She has already eaten lunch. Things like that. Past participle, as we talked about in the previous class, is verb 3, right? Go, went, gone. Eat, ate, eaten. Like that. Let's see here. So first of all, the present perfect tense is used to refer to something that happened in the past and has a relationship with the present, including, before we continue, here you can see the thing started at the X in the past and it's continuing until now, or at least until the very recent past. Okay, after we're going through this, we're going to do a little bit of a sentence making quiz. So be ready, be listening. Okay, let's continue. So one of the ways that we use it is for an unfinished action. I have studied English for 5 years. I hear this mistake so many times when people say, I studied for 5 years. That is okay if you are finished studying, right? I studied electrical engineering for 4 years in university 10 years ago. Not true in my case, but it is what it is, okay? Be careful with that. 4 or 5 years means 4 plus a duration of time is ding, 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 present perfect. Let's use it. We're going to talk more about that in the next class, so be ready for that. But let's continue here. Experiences. This is a really common way that we use the present perfect. You see the example, have you ever been to Europe? So have you ever is a really common way that we ask about someone's experience, right? Have you ever eaten raw fish? Yummy, yummy for some. And you can respond. How do you respond? Tell me. Yes, I have. Or no, I haven't. Okay. Now, looking at this word here, been, it looks like been, and sometimes you can say that, but usually we always say been. 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 That we would call it the short I. Sadly, if you're watching this, it probably doesn't exist in your language. that sound. So be very careful. It's not E like the letter E. Many people in their language, when they write the letter E, or sorry, when they write the letter I, they say E with that letter. But in English, I'll say what I've always said is that I can't give you an exact number, but if you see I with no other vowels, so let's see, the vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. A, E, I, O, U. The vowels are A, E, I, O, U. Memorize it. A, E, I, O, U. Repeat. A, E, I, O, U. Okay, so if you see the letter I alone with no vowels around it, around 90% of the time, it's going to make that short eh sound. Relaxed. Eh, eh, eh. For A, E, I, ah, eh, 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 eh. Okay. So if you're pronouncing it as E, know that probably 90% of the time you are wrong, okay? However, there's words like pizza, right, where that has an I, but pizza is from Italian. So, of course, their I is E, right? So, when there's words that come from Italian or Latin languages, etc., then yes, it can be that an I says E, but that's why I say 90% of the time. If there is I and another vowel, like IE, sometimes that is an E sound. EI can be A or E. So it depends if it's with another vowel or not. But if there's no other vowel, just consonants, which are the other letters, then it's eh. Repeat after me. Eh. Oh no, pronunciation lesson. Here's the thing. If it sounds weird when you say it, it's probably correct because your brain, if this is your language problem, your brain thinks it's E. No, the I is E. So for you trying to say eh as an I, your brain is like, no, that's not right. Okay? So if it sounds weird to you, then probably you're saying it correctly. Okay? That's been my experience with pronunciation. Okay. Let's continue. Experiences and changes over time. Okay. So Josh has grown a lot taller in the past year. Grown, grow, grew, grown. So grow is like get bigger, grow taller, right? Means you get tall, tall, tall. Okay, so he has grown taller in a period of time. So in the past year, well, it's 2025 now. So in the past year means 2024, although if you say the past year, technically you're referring to today all the way to today last year. So today is June 19th during this class, and June 19th today, 2025, till June 19th, 2024. That's the past year. Okay? Okie dokie. Next way we use it is for multiple actions in the past. Multiple actions in the past. So he has written 3 books and directed 2 movies. Wow. Alrighty. Nice. He has written 3 books and directed 2 movies. That's a lot. So notice that we didn't put he has written and has directed. You don't need to say the has 2 times or the he because it is the same subject and the same verb. Written and directed. We understand that. Okay? And let's continue. Oh, here we go. It's time to make sentences. So I hope you are listening, okay? This is the part where you participate and I will help you. No worries. So first of all, what I want you to do is make sentences with the given subject and the past participle of the main verb. Okay, so you have here, the subject is I, right? And our main verb is eat. What is the past participle of eat? Anybody know the past participle of eat? I'm going to help you out here in the chat. Eat, ate, that's past simple, eaten. I already mentioned it before, okay? Now, we need to make it says there, positive, okay? Positive sentence, so not a question and not negative. So our subject is I, so we start with the verb I. What's the second part of the past or the present perfect tense? What's the next word we put? And if you're not watching this live, no excuses. I want you writing down your answers in the comments. And yes, I promise I will check them in the future when I see them. Okay? So no worries there. Let's see. I will write some sentences first. Okay? So we have here, what's next? Remember that past, present, perfect, always has the have or has after it. Okay, so let's make this sentence. I have, okay, I have, we have a problem with the connection here. All right, maybe, okay. Okay, that's going on. Anyways, let's continue. I'm just going to continue. All right, so I have or has, which one? I'll give you the quick answer. I have eaten. Okay, so let's get a little more in our details here. I have eaten 3 sandwiches today. Okay, so starting in the morning until now, it's not true, although I do love sandwiches. Another example, okay, would be I have, I want you thinking of your own, okay? I have eaten too many donuts this week, okay? So that's from the beginning of this week, Sunday, until now. I've eaten too many donuts, all right? Next, we have, let's continue on our next part here, okay? A negative sentence, okay? So our subject is you, and our main verb is go, so we need a past participle, and it needs to be negative. So first of all, what's the past participle of go? Anybody out there? The answer, okay, is go. Past simple, went. Past participle, gone. And if you got that, congratulations, you're amazing. Okay. Next, we have, I'm still receiving this error sign, so that's not very good. Let me see here. Let's make sure we can get it going. I want to keep going for you, but okay. Let's continue. Anyways, all right, so what do I mean by negative? Negative just means using not. Okay, not. Do you remember how to use that? For some of you, this is going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. For others, not so much. Okay, but don't tell me this is easy, Mr. Smarties, if you aren't writing down your own sentences or at least making them. Another important thing I'm going to say is make sure, okay, this is super important, when you're making your sentences, you are also saying them. Speaking out loud. I need you speaking. That's super important, okay? So when we use, back to this sentence, the negative, right? You, is it have or has? It's have, you have, okay? I have, you have. You have, we have our past participle gone, but we need it to be negative. So should it be you not have gone? You have not gone? Or you have gone not? 3 choices I'm giving you, okay? Which should it be? 1, 2, or 3? The answer, I'm not giving you much time for this, but the answer is you have not gone. All right. Let's make a better sentence with this though, right? How would you put have and not together as a contraction? Do you know? If you know, say it right now, okay? You have not gone, or you haven't gone. All right, there we have it. So you haven't gone. Let's finish this sentence. I want you making your own sentences, okay? If you're just joining us now, you haven't gone to the store yet. You haven't gone to the store yet? Why? I asked you to go and you're still not there. If you are not watching this live, no problem. Keep writing your sentences in the comments and I will check if they're correct or not. Okay? And let's continue now with our next sentence. Okay? Here we go. Our subject is he. Our main verb is see. And our sentence is going to be a question this time. Interesting, okay? A question. So can you make a question using these things? I used to have to do this in French class. It's very useful. So main verb is see, which means the past participle of see is what? Anybody? Say it, shout it out loud if you know. I'm typing it in the chat, but you can type it in the chat for me if you want, okay? See, number 2, saw, that's past simple, and seen. And remember earlier I talked about been, or how it's properly pronounced, which is been. This is not seesaw sin. All right, this is seesaw seen. Now, been, remember, comes from be. Have you ever been to China? Right, so we have be and was, were, and been. Okay, that was for that one. So let's go on to a question here. Remember, when we use a question, we have to put the verbs first and the subject after that. The thing is, present participle, present perfect, actually all of the perfect tenses have 2 verbs that make them. Have, or has, or had, and the main verb, the past participle. So should we do have seen he, have he seen, has seen he, or has he seen? All right, if you answered the last one, you are correct, okay? Has he seen blah, blah, blah? Okay, has he seen would be um, um, like you put the have first, then the subject in the middle, just like with not, okay? Then the word, the past participle, so seen in this case. So, and we use has, not have, because with he, we use has, okay? For your present tense verbs, even the irregular verbs, when it's he, she, and it ends with s. I have, you have, he has, she has, it has. I'm cheating for you. Okay, so he has seen, let's make a full sentence, all right? He has seen a wolf. Now that sounds a little bit past simple-ish to me. So if we want to move it more into past participle territory, we could say he has just, oh wait, sorry, this is the question. Okay. Has he just seen a wolf? Right? Or I guess if it's a question, it would be better as has he ever seen a wolf? He has just seen a wolf. A wolf is, like a dog, a wild dog, right? He has just seen a wolf would be, oh yeah, he just saw it. But just means recent past, which is how we use the present perfect, okay? But if it's a question and you don't know, then we're talking about an experience. Just like we said before, has he ever seen a wolf? Have you ever seen a wolf? For me, only in the movies. So no, I haven't. Okay, not in real life. All right, let's move on to the next question. Okay, we have she now, of course. Give is our main verb, and we need a sentence in the positive. All right, so let's see. She, we know, is it have or has? Come on, you should know this by now. We've talked lots about it. She, huh? Say it out loud. I don't care if you're with other people. She has, what's the past participle of give? We have give, past simple, gave. Let me write this in the chat, okay? She has give, gave, and past participle, given. Okay, so she has given. What has she given? We need something after it. We always need an object after given. So she has given me a lot of money. I don't hate it. Okay. So she has given, you could say she's given me, the subject, the person receiving a lot of money, the object, we call this direct object, or you could say she has given a lot of money to me, okay? So be careful. If you have the person after, like this is called the indirect object, just more grammar things, then you need to. So if you have the thing and then to me or to someone, or you have the person and then the object, the thing, okay? So she has given me a lot of money. She has given a lot of money to me, okay? Good, 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 good. Let's move on. Next sentence, okay? And here it is they, this time with no. And it's negative. Negative, remember, it just means you use not or some other negative word like never. All other negative words are no one, nobody, nothing. Those make sentences negative. And remember, in English, we can only use one negative at a time. I am bad at math, but English sometimes is a little like math, where two negatives make a positive. Am I right? So you can say, I don't know nothing. That works in some languages, but in English, that means it's fine, grammar's okay, but it's a really complicated way to say, I know something, okay? So if you want it to be truly negative, it's I don't know anything, or I know nothing. Okay, you choose one. Pick your poison, as we say in English. It's a good expression. Which is the worst? Choose the least worst. Pick your poison. All right. Now, going back to this sentence, okay, we have know and past simple, knew, and past participle. This is very much like grow, which we had before. Grow, grew, grown. Know, knew, it's in the chat. Known. Okay, and then we also have here, let's make a negative sentence. So they, and what do you put next? Not or have or has. They have, not has. Remember, has is for one thing, or he, she, it. They is for more than one thing. So they have, and then it's negative, so we need not. No, they have not, and then known. They have not known. What's a sentence to put with known in the present perfect tense? They have not known about, they have not known anything about this topic for 3 years. I don't know. Okay, that's kind of a bad example when we're talking in time. It would probably be better as past simple. They didn't know anything. But for the sake of practicing our structure, this is what we have. Okay, so they have not known anything for 3 years. And I think that was the last one. Let me see here. No, we have one more. Okay, here we go. Last sentence, we make. We make. So we have make. What is our past participle of make? We have make, and then the past simple is made. Okay, now it's not making or anything like that. It's make, made, and made. Easy, easier. These are things you just have to memorize. There are some rules, but honestly, you just have to memorize it, sadly. So let's make a sentence. This time, it's going to be a question. So what do we do? How do we start a present perfect sentence that is a question with the word have, okay? Or has, depending on it, but for we, it's have. We have we? It's always a switch. Have we? We have. Okay, have we? Make, made, made. Have we made? Blah, blah, blah. So let's make a full sentence. Have we made any progress with your English today? There's a question for you to answer in the chat. Okay. Have we made any progress? That means are things getting better? Right? Have we made any progress? Is it happening? Me and you together. Have we made progress? I really, really hope so. This is what I do this for, is that so you and anyone else with you can learn something. Okay. Now, what I really prefer is if you're here live, that's awesome. You can talk with me and write in the chat with me. If you're not here live, though, then I don't expect anything less, which means you also need to participate. No excuses. In the comments below, write your sentences, preferably all the sentences that we just talked about. And I promise you, yes, I will go and check each one of them for you. Okay? Alrighty. Have a great day, guys. That is the end of this chat. Remember, it's only available till next week. So 7 days. Right now, I am putting the previous part 1 video on unlisted. You won't be able to see it unless you join a special group chat that I have where all of my past videos are posted and you can watch them whenever you want. Okay? But anyways, let me know if you want more about that description in the description. All right? Have a good day, guys. And I'm out. Bye-bye.